Alright, what's going on, Forgotten Nation? I'm your host, FG. Welcome back to some more Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Last we left off, we took on version 2 of Monkey Flight. And now we're doing something a little different. Instead of playing each game, we're going to be showing off the games and a little bit of a brief showing of it. More or less to show what the gameplay is like in each one. Some of these games have a bit more to offer, while some of them are pretty straightforward. So, for this video, we're going to be showing the last of the 3 major party games in their deluxe forms. Monkey Billiards, Monkey Bowling, and Monkey Golf. So, first off, let's show off
Billiards Deluxe.
Yeah. So this one's got 2 modes. The Versus mode, which is basic, and Tournament mode, which is like a full-on tournament. And with Versus mode, there's also 4 different rule sets. The US 9, the Japan 9, a full rotation, and the classic 8-ball. And so, I think the best way to show this off is probably the US 9 ball, which is what we'll be showing off in this small little gameplay tease. So with that in mind, this is Monkey Billiards Deluxe. Alright, so Monkey Billiards plays a lot like regular billiards. In the case of the 9-ball rule, it's pretty straightforward for the most part, though there are some exceptions to be made. The idea is that you take turns going in order between 1 and 8, which means you gotta sink in each ball in order. So say right now we're on number 5 because you sink in all these other balls, you'd go for number 5. And when you sink in 5, you'd go for 6. With 6 in though, you'd be going for 7. So the idea is to keep going in chains until you make your way to number 9. Number 9 being representative of the main ball. So should you be able to sink the 9 ball in before your opponent, you win the set. And in the case of the settings, the best out of 3 wins the overall game. And ideally, the physics here are pretty spot on as far as billiards go. At least as far as I've seen. For what it is, it's both accurate to the main games, along with all the rule sets, and overall plays pretty effectively to a point where it's enough that you'd be coming back for more. Sure, doesn't beat the real thing, but for what it is, I would say this is pretty spot on to what you expect out of a game like Billiards. And with all the rule sets, there is a lot to be found with this gameplay party game. And the best part has to be the music. But anyways, as you saw right there was a cannon shot. Because they shot in the 9-ball with another ball, it turns out they actually won this. Well, actually no, not quite, because he actually hit it himself, not the opponent. But, I don't know. So there are parts of this game where sometimes the rules really make me wonder how the heck did this just happen. But overall, I would say it's pretty accurate to Billiards as a whole. Nothing more to say here, it's Billiards. Alright, so that was Monkey Billiards Deluxe. So up next is
Monkey Bowling Deluxe.
and this one's got 3 different modes. So we got normal mode, which is essentially classic bowling in its entirety, which actually has some substandard modes such as 10-pin, 9-pin, and going on full strikes. The 9-pin actually shuffles up the pins that are missing, and the strike is essentially just 1 frame per roll. And then special mode is essentially the unique mode to Super Monkey Ball, where it changes up the lane, adding obstacles, gimmicks, and essentially overall making it a true challenge, which does differentiate from the main gameplay. And then challenge mode is essentially a challenge where the idea is to knock down all the pins in a given set, be it certain pins that are up, or even going for a full-on strike. So I think the best mode to show off is the special mode. So, for Monkey Bowling Deluxe, we're going to be showing off special mode with a little bit of the first level. There's 3 levels total, and in order to get to each level, you have to get a set amount of points in order to progress forward. So, this is level 1. Alright, so as we see before us is an obstacle in the lane. And not just an obstacle in terms of like say like a banana peel or something like that. No, the lane itself is the obstacle. And part of this is really what makes special mode the special mode. Because it's not just simply about having like bumpers or stuff like that in your way, it's also about trying to make use of the environment. And this is just 1 frame, with 10 different stages, 30 in total by the way. This ultimately makes special mode one of the best ways to play the main game if you're looking for something a little extra outside of just bowling alone. And the challenge alone can really make this essentially a fun party game to its own rights if you're looking for more than just something basic. So anyways, with this next stage, you can see here, we have the curvature, which is gonna make us go into like this half-pipe kind of deal. And it may or may not throw you off based on which way you want the ball to go into. So here we kind of missed the pocket there because we were a little to the right. and sometimes the stage can make or break your game. This is just level 1, by the way. Each level has different sets of frames, and sometimes it can be a little harder the further you get into. But let's just roll into it and try to get those pins. Not exactly the best, but it's going. So we'll give one more to go. So this one, you can see it's going above the lane with a bit of a curvature, as opposed to the half pipe below. So ideally, special stages are essentially what you make them to be. Either you get lucky, or you try to make the most out of it. And of course, it only gets harder and harder from there. So let's go for one more pin here. Keep going. Not quite. But for what it is, it's still bowling in its purest form. Just with some extra challenge. So, let's move on to the next game. Alright, so the last one we're covering up next is...
Monkey Ball Deluxe.
And this one is split into two versions. You got mini golf, and you got normal golf. Mini golf actually originates from the original Super Monkey Ball, while normal golf takes place from Super Monkey Ball 2. And while there is some similarity between the two, these are essentially two different games. Which means, take it as you see it, you're going to be playing one over the other, or you might enjoy both. But for what it is, in total that means there's over 36 levels that this party game has to offer, making it one of the most extensive that the series has seen to this day. And that's more combined compared to the other modes that the game has to offer as well. So, we're going to be checking out a little bit of both versions. So, let's start first with mini golf and then make our way to normal golf. So, with that in mind, this is Monkey Golf Deluxe. I would argue that mini golf is probably one of the most peaceful activities you can do in your free time. You don't have to worry too much about trying to be perfect, trying to really try to go with like the far distance. It's all about patience, timing, and overall a little bit of strategy in mind too. And it's no different here. Mini golf is as simple as it gets. The idea is that you have 3 different power levels, 20, 40, and 80, as well as a lower power level in the form of 10. So, you choose your distance based on how many yards you got in front of you, you choose your power, and you hit it. And depending on how hard you go, you can either make it in, or pass it, or in some cases even go out of bounds. But the rules apply here that the idea is to try to go for par. This is only the front 9 as opposed to the full 18, which actually turns out to be the back 9 for whatever reason. It called it the inner when I was choosing the settings. Don't know what that's about. But yeah, there's plenty of variety to be found. With over 18 different courses, may I remind you, there's a lot to be found with this mode. So, let's try to hit it. Right there. And this is definitely one of the more peaceful games of the party bunch. It's definitely a lot more mellow paced, a lot more relaxing, and overall, it's good for spending your time. And as long as you max out the idea that you have a limited set of power and you try to really go with the distance that it gives you, this isn't that hard of a game to master. Sometimes it gets really hard later on, but I wouldn't call it anything more than impossible. So, it's nice and mellow. So tell you what, we'll do one more course and then we'll head on to the main golf. And overall, I would say I have more fun with mini golf alone because of its simplicity as opposed to main golf. Which, don't get me wrong, both of these are good, but I don't know, there's just something that's so basic about the mini golf that I like a little better. As a matter of fact, I used to play the mini golf version all the time with Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll. But here we go. So, we're gonna get full power. And go. And we're gonna roll all the way down here. And we missed. Only some stages actually give you the, well, the satisfaction of having a barrier, a wall. Which means if you're not careful, it's very easy to go out of bounds and really stack up the points. So let's see if we roll in. Nope, not enough power. Not enough power. So we'll give it one more go. And full force. Alright, alright. I have a good feeling about this one. Nope. We're gonna roll right off. Alright. We're not gonna do too well this one. So let's just go to the next game. Because you can only go so mellow with mini golf. So let's play a version that really makes you angry if you mess up. Main golf. So, as opposed to mini golf, main golf is essentially main golf. You have your different drivers, you have your different wedges, and of course you got your putter, and the idea is based on distance. The thing here though is you're really trying to play based on your environment, which sometimes can be a little hard to see even with the map alone. But luckily there's different angles you can see where you're hitting from, so it looks like we're right in the green. So that should be good. So we're going to stick with the driver, and let's go for the hit. It looks like we have a little curve to the right, but full power, so that's good. Wow, that was not enough. Okay, that was terrible. And this is the reason I don't like normal golf to begin with. One, because I'm terrible at it. If you ever see my driver, you can see there's like a huge dent on the outside of it. But two, because of even just the smallest inconsistency sends you to your death. And that really sucks. Alright, we're gonna give it one more go. Let's see your distance. Putter. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I still think that the driver is probably the best, but let's just go with the 3 wedge. Alright. Let's go. Full power. A little to the left. Or the right, I guess. Wow, okay. Nope, right out of here. And this is also part of the reason why I didn't really want to cover the main golf, because as you can see, I'm pretty terrible at it. So, we're not going to waste any more time. I think this is a good place to call it. Because otherwise I'm just going to make more of a fool of myself. So, yeah, looks like it's time for a conclusion. So, let's cut ahead. Alright, and then mind, that concludes all 6 of the deluxe games that Super Monkey Ball Deluxe has offered. And these 6 games were deluxe in particular because these originally originated, try saying that 5 times fast by the way, from the first Super Monkey Ball game, and then were later improved with Super Monkey Ball 2. So you're probably wondering what these last 6 are? Well, we'll save that for next time. So stay tuned as we do a brief playthrough of the other 6 games that were featured in Super Monkey Ball 2 and make a return here as well. Because after all, this is Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. So if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like and comment below. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. And yeah, time's coming to a close soon. So, stay tuned.